And we're back.
And we're back.
And we're back. Yeshivas Geulas Shaul. We're just chilling now, drinking some babysher tea. I don't know what's going on with Schlegs. You know, Schlegs come over, like bing bong. Like, oh wait, this happened, that happened. Phone battery at 1%. See you Josh Tuesday. DBJ probably come in soon, maybe some other people. In the meantime, we could talk about what we're going to learn today, which is, if you remember yesterday, Babishter, we're going to learn today out of the Cheg. We're going to learn today about, we say that if they go to Milchama, right, if they go to Medina Sayyam, a guy goes to Medina Sayyam, we're talking about how he can cancel idolatry. If you go, Medina Sayyam is how the Gemara calls anywhere outside of Eretz Israel. The city of water, very interesting. I wonder if it has to do with maritime law. Wait, how much battery do I have left? I don't have a lot of battery. Let me just keep it in the battery.
Well, I'm saying, like, if you use that, you can charge it.
You're saying?
If you use it against here, then you need to charge it.
You're saying, and we're back.
And we're back.
And we're back. Double and we're back. On today, the 8th day, the 8th shir in a row of this week. We got Yach and Bo. Shalom Aleichem, guys. How you doing?
Grateful, bro.
How's your imaginary ping pong elbow injury?
It's actually okay. It maybe possible for post shear volley or two. We'll see what's up.
Post shear Vig or Tiggs?
I'll hit you up.
DVJ, we got Schligs in the house. He's got a mean serve in ping pong.
I don't have any Herenstein backhand, that's for sure.
Sick.
BH.
Only a few people have Herenstein backhand.
Yeah. Yo, by the way, David Cable is good. I wanna challenge other yeshivas in ping pong.
Dude, I love that idea. And we could raise money for something positive in the world.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
for riot.
like holy juices. Like holy juices.
Oh, we need holy juices, bro.
Oh man.
Yo, yesterday I was sitting out in the hot sun, and I was like, "Oh, I need a holy juice right now."
Oh wow, yeah. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me that people need the juice.
Yeshivas Geulas Shaul wants to make her own brand of holy juice. It's called Juice in Jerusalem.
Bezrat Hashem. This will be part of the entire organization.
Amen. All right. So yesterday we went a little weiter in the sugya of how does an idolater cancel? How is he mevatel his idol? How does he do it? Does he just say to it, "You're batel"? You know, what does he do? So we said that either you break it a little bit or you mash its face, mash it 50, smash him and let him have it, you know, to this idol. So, but they said, yeah, and then there's a machlokas. What if he sells it? Depends if he sells it to a yid, if he sells it to a non-Jew. We did that. We made a whole whiteboard explaining it. Everyone said, wow, Shmuel, that whiteboard is very clear. Thank you for laying out the sugya like that. And I said, no problem. Now we're dealing with more things which might cancel the idol.
No problem.
No problem. Yeah. So if you borrowed money on it, which sounds kind of like a collateral, or if something fell on it, like a house fell on it, they didn't clean it up, or it was stolen, or the Bailim went and they went to Chutz La'aretz So if they're gonna come back like in Melchemes Yoshua, it's not Batla. So we spoke about why we need all those three yesterday, and then we went on to wait a second. The days of Moshe Yoshua, if they came back like the Amorites, right? It's Uzzer if they're gonna come back in Melchemes Yoshua. And we're like, wait a second, though. They didn't come back. We wiped them out. The Amorites. So Ima season Lachzor Kimelchemes Yoshua in Bedela. So we're seeing this again with the Rashi. I don't know, we should see many of these Rashis. Here's what it's saying. If they're going to come back, then it's like the Melchemes Yoshua and it has no Betela. So it's like the Melchemes Yoshua. What does that mean? Is that when the Amorites, they said, oh, the Israelites are coming out of Egypt and they're taking our land, we'll go fight them and then come back to our idols. Meaning their plan was going to come back. If their plan is to come back like those Amorites planned to come back in the Melchemes Yoshua, so then it's not Bato. As the Gemara, Lamali, Limitli, Lamali Limitlia, Joshua. Okay, just tell me that if they're going to come back, it's Bato. If they're not going to come back, it's not Bato. Why would they be told? Why would they make it a condition? Why would they reference even the war of Yoshua? So it says it's Milsa Agav Orche Kamash Milan. We learned something by the way. Ki Hada Amarav Yehuda Amarav, like where Rav Yehuda Amarav says that Israel Shizakav Levena, an Israelite that put a brick in order to dive into it, and then an idolater comes to dive into it, it's Azar. We say, well, how do we know that it's Azar? Well, before we get to how we know it's Azar, let's see the Rashi's over there. So we taught in Milsa Agav Kamash, we taught something by the way. We want to see that it's not Batul if he plans to come back. But we gave a sign to his words to teach us from the sign a new thing to help out Rav Yehuda's opinion that he says that an Israelite who sets up a brick to dive into it, the Israelite sets up a brick to dive for it, and then an idolater divens for it. And we learned that it's Asr from Me'ozan Jabi Me'yoshua L'chot Dvarah. So we learned the Isra of Avodah Zarah. Wow, we learned the Isra of Avodah Zarah from the idolaters that were in the day of Yoshua ben Nun. To all of its things. That's pretty interesting. So the lower Shtachavah. He put up the brick, like standing up, like in the last level of Mario Party, or of Super Mario, when there's that big brick that like falls down on you. And Nushligs was gonna perk up when he heard Mario. You know what I'm talking about? Those brick with the face.
Of course, bro.
And he slams on you. That's what you put a brick up like that, and then a koopa troopa guy, comes in and starts davening to it. So Ubao Ve'Kochavim, even though it's not his. Uminalan says the Gemara, how do we know that it's Asar? Amar Rabbi Elazar says, Kitachila Shayat Yisrael, says Rashi, Amar Rabbi Milan Shazar, Avo B'Yishein Shalom. Oh, Kev, Shalom Aleichem. So we're learning a crazy case right here. We're learning the case, an Israelite sets up a brick like this. He wants to pray to it. He wants to idolatize this brick. And a non-Jew comes up and he's like, oh, I'm going to dive into it first. I'm going to pray first. So even though usually if some idolater comes up and starts worshiping my items, he doesn't have any ability to make my items forbidden to me, but in this case he does. And the question says, well, how do we know that he does in this case? Why does he have the ability to make it other? So Amar Rav Eliezer, he says we learn it from what happened in the Milchemes Yoshua, in the war of Joshua on the land. The Amar Rahmana, because the merciful Torah teaches the Ashareim Tisrufum Ba'esh. Yo, Kev, out in the wild, showing us real life trees.
And snow, man. Look at this. Just so you guys
Where
get.
are
And the
you?
birds are circling overhead right now. The storks are circling overhead. I can hardly hear you. They're
Where
so
are
loud.
you? I thought I saw snow. Where are you?
I'm up in the far north somewhere. I think up by the
Wow.
Arctic Circle here, man. I'm up in Canada.
Yo, the Arctic Circle, because we all know the Earth is flat, and Antarctica is a circle around the world. Very good. It's like the Arctic Circle.
Oh, I'm losing
up
here. I
there.
gotta get near the house again.
It's beautiful, bro. So, anyways, it says when the Jews came into Israel, you have to destroy all of their idolatrous trees. Disinformation to burn them. Michti, wait a second. Let's see. Shlegs, write this word down in your
Michti.
list of Gemara words. Michti. Let's see. Michti. What does it mean? Let's see. Michti. Let's see. I don't even know who taught me that Michti means let's see. But that's what Michti means. Michti means Michti. Let's see. Like I can't explain to you etymologically why it means that. Michti. Let's see. Yerusha Hilahem Avosehem. Israel was promised to the Jewish people, to the Israelite nation, from their forefathers, right? From Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Heligavais HaKedoshim. Ve'ein Adam Azer Davar She'ein Shalom. So the Jews were temporarily being held captive in Egypt. You know, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov were in Eretz Yisrael, right? And the land is ours. We went down to Egypt because there was a famine, and we got stuck in Egypt for about 400 years, give or take. And then we came back, walked 40 years in the desert, and then we came back home. And these idolaters have worshipped some of the trees, and we have to burn those trees down. Where do they get off? Where do they get the power to cancel, to make to a tree which does not belong to them? Oh, is that tree in Eretz Yisrael? Oh, it belongs to Am Yisrael. Because it's a tree in Eretz Yisrael, and our forefathers gave it to us. What are you going to victim blame us for getting put in slavery for 400 years? I mean, no way. So how does, even if the idolatry goes and worships a tree in Israel, how is it that it became an asher? How did it become a forbidden tree? Ein Adam Oser Davar She'ein Shalo. A person cannot aser something which is not his. So it was imizum hanach de meikara bebitula be'al masagi. And so if it was like, okay, but before Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, you know, there was Terach, and there were people worshiping these trees. Kev, we're loving, Kev's smoking some trees. The double trees. That's what's up, bro. Trees and trees. How is it still daytime by you in north of Israel, though? It's like nighttime here in Israel. Look, guys. It's like totally nighttime in Jerusalem. Kevin's in north of Israel. It seems like it's a different time zone.
I think he said Canada. He said Canada.
Oh, bro, you made it out of the country?
Yeah, I got free like a month ago or so.
Oh, yo, I didn't even know that. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Just when everything started.
Oh, wow. Well, we're very glad to have you in Sheer and you're in Canada. That makes sense. If you're north of Israel, I'm like, wait a second, light by you. And I
Just
use
spreading the
my
energy everywhere, man, all the way down to the bottom of the world here.
yeah, amazing, amazing. We're glad to have you anywhere you are in the world, on the flat Earth. So you're Mamish in the Arctic Circle. Your Mamish guy's Mamish like in the North Pole or the South Pole, South Pole,
Up in Canada, yeah.
somewhere in Canada. Gavaldic. Anyways, I use my expert Talmud deduction skills to be like daytime, eh? 5
Yeah, you
minutes
figured that
later.
right out right away.
Wait a second. How
All the
was
stuff
day
happening in the world just made us look around a little bit all of a sudden, eh?
Yeah, beautiful. So let's see. If the Yerusha, and so it was from the Iker, like it was the idolatry before Avraham Yaakov. Well, that would be the Betula Be'alma Sagilu. It would be enough for a bittul. So I don't know how they see Rashi why that wasn't a consideration that maybe the people before Abraham worshiped those trees. But the Gemara says, "Ella midebalchu Yisrael le'egel galu adayte denichalu b'avos Am Yisrael did the chet egel, and then they're like, "Yeah, we don't mind do idolatry to our trees, and if you do it, then you have to destroy the trees. The trees can really become idols." Let's see Rashi. The Australian says, "Alma ilanos nami asir." The trees became azar. Umichti. Let's see. Haaretz v'goma chaberla Yerusha Israel. It all belongs to us from our forefathers. Shaharei la'Abraham ne'amar ki l'chayet nena. Like we saw yesterday, this week's parsha. V'gayim shabau achareichin lo yochlu la'achram v'shachavai. Even if they dive into our trees, doesn't do nothing. V'im yishum asheros me'ikara hayu kodem she'nitnu la'Abraham v'lo yadinan ha'nitnu. He's saying Bidul Ba'alma is that like we don't even know which one are these trees. Shalom Aleichem Avi Myri. This bee is not going to sting me while I'm learning, maybe while I'm bottling. So I got to stay focused. So when the idolaters came, and they were just doing the shlichus of Am Yisrael davening to those trees. So here too, if a yid puts up his brick, a yid puts up his brick, and he's like, "I'm gonna dive into this brick," right? So Galia Daite, he revealed his intention. That he wants this brick to be worshipped for idolatry. And when the idolatry dive into the standing up brick, he was doing shlichus. He was a messenger of the Yid. Kafida. Let's see some Rashis. The imish to masher to make all right. Michti, Avodah the bittul sagile. The guy Milan. So it would have been enough if there was just a bittul. Rashi has a different girza. Rashi's girza is bitula be'al. The Gemara's girza bitula be'alma sagile. It's enough that it would just be mivatel. But Rashi says. Michdi avodas gulavim shalove gulavim is it all it needs is bittul. Just get one of our non-Jewish friends to come in and cancel it, because we hold an idolater can be mevadel idolatry even if he doesn't want to. You can force him. Al gorgo lichkefinu lo v'gulavim. Just make some goy do be mevadel it against his will. So shlichusayu avdi. Hilgach avdi avodah Israel be'ena b'telo olames. From the fact that the guy in Am Yisrael, that the nation of Israel worshipped the egel, the golden calf. So like Am Yisrael was saying, yo, the nation of Israel was saying, listen, we don't have such a problem with idolatry. The idolaters came in and into our land and worshipped our trees. We already showed them that we don't mind that our stuff gets used for idolatry, so it's considered the Israelites' idolatry. The trees that were in Israel, and even though it was worshipped by non-Israelites, by idolaters, still, since we did the Chet Egel, it's like, yo, now we're okay. Just like when the guy puts up his brick, I'm gonna pray to this brick, comes an idolater and prays to this brick, even though the brick does not belong to the idolater, since the Jew showed his intention was to worship this brick, an idolater can also make this brick forbidden. And that is what we showed from Yoshua. V'dilma be'egel hu tenichalahu. Maybe, okay, fine. That he didn't want to worship the golden calf. But he didn't want to do the worship of something else. Says Rashi, he doesn't want it. It's like, all right, listen. We worship the golden calf. We're very sorry, but we don't want all of our stuff being used for idolatry. How do you know that when the Israelites worshiped the golden calf, they were also like, yo, and all of our stuff, just worship it, you know? So it says, Amar Kra, says like, Ela Elohecha Yisrael. These are your gods, Israel. These. Maybe he's saying like that. So it says, Melamed She'ivu Le'eluhuz Harbe. They wanted to make a lot of different gods. Ema Kol Bahade Egel Nitzaru. Migan Ve'elach Nitzaru. And there's Man Muchach. So let's see Rashi over here. Kol Bahade Egel. Ozon Hajero Shayu Ozo Azman. So say like this. Okay. The idolatrous trees that existed at the time of the Egel would become Azar because they're doing their shlichos, right? Because they were around there. Aval ne'evados mikan ve'elach, but the things that are worshipped from there and onward, shakazu b'tshuva, after Am Yisrael was already choser b'tshuva, they already repented about their sin in the golden calf. Lav shlichuzayu Abba. Say that maybe it's only those specific trees, but not the new trees, not the trees which are worshipped after Israel already did tshuva, right? What now? We did Chet Ego, one sin, and now anything that's mine, some idolater can just come and dive into my lighter, and now I can't use my lighter. What? We showed by Chet Ego. So the Gemara says, Man muchach, mi yodeh ezo ha'izah be'ozo shah be'ezo ne'ebda achagach. Who knows, right? What's the proof? Who knows what worshipped before? Was worshipped after. Therefore, we say any tree that was in Israel when the time when Israel reconquered it from the Amorites, after we were in exile for 400 years, doing backbreaking labor in Egypt, and we got back home, we're like, oh, we got to get all these worship trees out of here. And since we don't know what was before the Egel, was after the Egel, was before repentance, was after repentance, we just said all the trees that they worship, boinam. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what it's time for?
What time is it?
New Mishnah time, new Mishnah time, new Mishnah time. Time for a new Mish. Zog, the Heilige Mishnah. Nun Gimel Amud Beis. Avodas Gochavim Sheinucha. Avodas Gochavim Sheinichua Ovdeh B'Shah Shalom. Muteres. You have an idol that it's idolater. The idolater, he had a free ticket, he had a ticket, he was able to get out of Israel, he was able to get to Canada, right? Just a random, nothing about anyone specific, right? And let's say he left a Buddha statue, right? So if he left when it was time of peace, he left before the war, so then it's muteris. I just want it. Okay, we can use that Buddha statue to as a paperweight, or we can use it to pave a floor. We can use the material, right? It's considered canceled. But if it's a Shas Melchama, but if he left during the war, then it's Asura. Then it's Aser. it's still forbidden. Oh wow. Oh, Shalom Aleichem. Wow, double trouble. Obermeister and Ziggity Zalman coming in to share at the same time. Just in time for when we started a new Mishnah.
Amen.
So we learned that in idolater that in Yichua, that he left his idol. If it was a time of peace, it's mutter. If it was a time of war, it's usher. It's forbidden still in Anah. Bimusios shel malachim. Bemusius. What's bemusius? I'm going to say, I don't know that word yet. Let's see what Rashi says. I see the word bama. Bemusios shel malachim. So something of kings. Hare elu mutaros are permissible to get Hana from it. Why? Maybe it's like where the king like speaks and greets the nation. So imagine an idolatrous king is coming through the nation giving speeches. We'll call him Trump. The idolatrous king named Trump, he comes and he speaks in a place. He comes, he speaks, he sets up a nice maybe it's like a bima, like a stage, and then he leaves. Is that an idolatrous thing? I mean, it's an idolatrous king. So they say no, it's mutter because they only set it up for the king that's passing by. Now, we got to see Rashi to know exactly what Bemusios is. First, it says, what if the idolater left his idol? What does that mean? He's like, I am out of here. I am out of here. I am going to live with the Eskimos. Right? He says, I'm gone. And Kev, we hope you're not gone permanently because we need you to be there when we build the third base of Mikdash, the third temple.
It's all coming back. We're going to build it from inside. I think each one of us. That's our temple.
That's big. That's
and
definitely.
I think that all of this talking
part of it.
I think that all that you're talking about right now, what keeps coming to my mind is the tree of life, and the praying is about us. I mean, we are the trees of life. And I kept thinking about all of these people that come and they pray to the Jewish people, like all of these Christians and all of these people, and they idolize the actual trees of life in Israel, like the Jewish people themselves.
Oh, that's very
it's
interesting.
almost like it's such a twist in this mindset in this weird Christian world that I came into, where they really worship the people of Israel, the trees of life in Israel. So all this talk that you were talking about today, I was wondering, is it talking about the trees of life in Israel? Like, are we the trees of life in Israel somehow?
It does say in a verse in Deuteronomy, Ki Adam Eitz Hasadeh, because man is akin to a tree. And so there's definitely something there, Kev. There's definitely something there, the susha between man and tree.
Have you ever come across these things with the cerebral spinal column, also all of the fluid going up and coming up into the king dome?
I've thought about that stuff. Schlegs, you got something to say?
Yeah, I was just reading from the Tanya on Shabbat, which was speaking about how the tree, we're going to stop being sustained from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and we're going to taste of the tree of life in the world to come. So I think that there is something significant to what you're saying, Kevin, that there is going to be this kind of like a transition process where basically it seems to be a more positive thing where I guess evil is going to kind of be removed and it'll be a purely enjoyable experience for Bezrat Hashem, the righteous.
Amen. The righteous and the right trees. You know?
The right trees, yeah.
The righteous with the right trees. Obermeister knows what I'm talking about. The righteous and the right trees. All right, Obermeister. What happens in Uman stays in Uman. The Maisa. Okay, so Rashi says, they're not going to come back, this idolatry, right? Shalom muteret. So if it was over the Yodzu das, below not the lua imahem bitlua, right? The idolater leaves Israel at a time of prosperity, at a time of peace, and he leaves. So he left his idol, so that automatically he's nullifying the idol. But if it's a time of war, then it's still usher. Says Rashi, nothing. But we can infer that if he left in a time of war, maybe his intention was like, yo, I just got to get out of here. And I want to come back when I can. And so he's not, his leaving is not an implicit nullification of the idol. Now, Kev, we're all dying to know, what day did you leave Israel exactly? Before or after the Gaza invasion?
It was before, because
All
I felt
right,
like I had to
so-
leave before it happened. For some reason, I felt like it was going to happen the next chapter, and I had to leave the land so the next chapter could unfold. So almost like a week and a half or 2 weeks after I got back, I
Wow.
didn't start it.
Bro, you're doing great. You're a great soldier in Canada. You know, the oppression there is pretty strong. Justin Trudeau, son of Fidel Castro, you got to watch out. We gotta help out. Is the Inuits. If you're up there in Canada, try to find the Inuits. They are very
I'm
oppressed.
surrounded. I live in an Indian community. I'm
Amazing.
surrounded by 5 Indian reserves. So
Let's go. Let's go. Definitely learn a lot and definitely tell us what you learned. It's very amazing to be there.
I'm just watching right now. I feel like everything's being exposed in the world. There's really nothing to be seen now because everything that's happening in the world is also happening here. You can see the division, the conflict here.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever's happening in Israel is not isolated to Israel. It happens there so we can all see it, but it's happening everywhere. So you have the farmers divided against the natives. You have towns divided against towns. You have all of these demographics here are all fighting each other, even in this little community where there's only hundreds of people. So it's really interesting. It's like
it's divide and conquer. It's the same thing all over. In America, they do it between the blacks and the whites. In Israel, they do it between the Jews and the Arabs. In Singapore, they do it between rich and poor. Right? That's their modum operandus. You know?
It's the knowledge of good and evil, isn't it? You make one good and you make the other one evil, but it's not good and it's not evil. It's the hand behind it that creates the scenario so that it can manipulate the truth.
Listen, I think that, and we have to learn more about like what exactly is the Ishmaelites, but I think that if it wasn't for the hand of Esav, right, the Roman Empire getting involved in the Middle East and causing the Jews and the Arabs to fight, and doing that divide and conquer, I think that us and the Arabs would be living peacefully in Israel.
There probably wouldn't even be the concept of us and Arabs. I mean, if you want to get right down to it, I mean,
well, we are cousins, right? We are cousins. They come from Ishmael. We come from Isaac.
Yeah.
They come from Ishmael, and we come from Isaac. We're cousins. But
and what is a mind that looks at another being and judges that other being? What is a mind that looks at another being and labels that other being? That's a mind that's in judgment, which means to be in judgment, you have to be saying it's good or it's evil. So when you look at another being, the moment that you judge it, you say he's black, he's white, he's Arab, he's Jew, he's whatever, your mind is in that state of judgment. And therefore you cannot see the truth because you are swaying things in your mind. You're manipulating the truth back and forth.
If a person only has two default settings, like either it's good or it's evil, but there is, I think, room in this world and beauty in this world for difference. And I don't think everyone should be like we should make everything exactly the same and everyone listens to crappy pop American music. I think it's beautiful that different natures, different nations, different groups bring different things to the table, and we can be a big family of humans. But I believe that the people on top, the elites, the top of the pyramid of oppression, they want us fighting. And so they turn it into, oh, we should fight them because of that. Instead of loving a person for his difference, they want us to be afraid and to hate. And that's what we have to overcome.
Oh,
We should be zoche. So I just want to finish this mission. DVJ, how much time we got left?
It's about 10 minutes.
Perfect. Bimaso shel malachim. So what are these bimasos? We said that maybe it's a stage, but now we're going to see Rashi tell us exactly. Bimaso shel malachim. He says, Avnei gazes amisukanin b'derech mehalech hamelech. It's these, I mean, I said stages, but I guess back in the day, the best stage they could find is a nice big rock. And it's these nice big rocks that were set up in the path that the king should pass it. When the king passes, they put a bunch of idolaters there. Oh, or maybe the idolaters, they like, oh, look, it's our idol. And then the king davens to this idol. And it's like, oh, yo, the king prayed to our idol. It's going to be a good year for idolatry this year. But the Gemara says it's mutter. Why would it be mutter? And it says, for the king to pass, right? They're putting it there when the king is passing. So what does it say? So it says Rashi, what that means is saying, since you have to set it up at the time when the kings are passing, that they're not ready for to put idolatries on it all the time. Go Shah, Ella Oza Shah. So they have these rocks, but they only really use the rocks when the king is passing. So then the idolaters put their idols on the rocks. The Legaman Baruch, the Mishum Hagim Mutarim B'Tmei, the Gemara say, oh, since they only use it sometimes for idolatry, so therefore it's mutter. Oosh, what shot? Only sometimes for idolatry, and so therefore it's mutter.
Good child.
It's a good shot. Rashi's like, the Gemara is going to ask him with a wonderment. What in the world? It's used sometimes for idolatry, so it's usher.
It's a pella.
Use sometimes.
It's a pella.
Bella Plain. What's pshat? The Gemara is going to ask that
Cool.
question. Pella Playim. Okay. Says the Gemara. Tig. Oh, we got 5 minutes left. Amar Rabbi Yirmiyah bar Abba, Amar Rav, Beis Nimrod, Arehi Gavod Gulavim. Ah, it's Parshas Shavua. Nimrod. The house of Nimrod, says the Gemara, Harehi is like an idolatry. Sheinichua Avodah b'Shas Shalom. It's like an idolatry that the worshippers left it at a time of peace, and therefore it's mutter. You can use the house of Nimrod. So somewhere in Babylon. Abagav dechi padrinu rachmana kishaz milchamadami. Even though when the Torah was b'darinu, see what that is. It's like the time of a war, not the time of a peace. So they like, even though there was really some wartime that was like happening, but still then there was peace. If they wanted to go back after the war is done, they could have went back. They didn't go back. It shows that they canceled the idolatry. Let's see the Gemara. Beis Nimrod. It says Migdal Shabbat Torah Plaga. Schlegs. We're not just talking about the house that Nimrod lived in, you know. We're not talking about Yankee Stadium, the house that Ruth built.
Okay.
We're talking about the tower. Beis Nimrod is the Tower of Babylon.
Wow.
The Tower of Babylon that the door plug up built, the Nimrod Ayamelcha, and Nimrod was the king, so it's called Nimrod. So the Tower of Babylon, Overmeister, mutter. You can use it to get rocks out of it or something. It's like it was something they left. And even though the Torah, right, so Hashem brought, like, mixed them up and spread them out. And so that's kind of like a milchama. Yeah, but they could have all went back. And if they didn't, it's considered that they just forsook it and left it. Tomorrow we're going to deal more with these bimusos. So we said that they put these platforms that they put the idols on when the king is passing through, and the king just does a bunch of Avodah Zarah. We'll do that tomorrow. We spoke about two things tonight that are stories we all know. We spoke about the war of Joshua for the land of Israel. We spoke with Kevin in the snow. We spoke about the house of an idolater named Nimrod. And we spoke about the land of Israel at a time of war and a time of shalom. We say Shlomo Yaakov Leifer Shalom Aleichem. And Joseph Obermeister Lechem Shalom. David Rosen, Kevin, my Tati, and Ush, and Zig. And don't forget the Halakha Rebbetzin and Riv. We've been stagging here something like 13 shiurim in a row, maybe 14. Thursday, Wednesday. Night Seder's been going like automatic. It's been gewaldig. And also we've done every morning Seder this week. That's 8 for 8. Joseph Obermeister is like, where's your ukulele? We saw him Gemara and a midnight Gemara, learning all about Avodah Zarah. I can't wait to snag some more tomorrow. We are all warriors like Zarah.